So what we'd like to do when we make this class is first of all, we need something called an interface. You can think of an interface as sort of a contract, and any class that uses an interface must use methods and properties that are from that interface. Now, you might already know something about programming and say, okay, well, things from one class, you can insert from another class. But, so for example, you can do something like that with an object or a system. And so this is this. But what we're really trying to do is anything that is savable will have these parameters. Okay? So we know that we want to save, so void save the state of whatever it is Now what you'll notice is we're getting an error right away. So if I hit Alt Enter on this, it tells me you have not implemented the interface, which is these two methods, the load and save state, which we made earlier. Let's go ahead and do some C# magic and just click on that. And you'll see here that at the bottom, it went ahead and created those two methods for me. Now by default, it hasn't done anything, so it's added these two exceptions. I haven't really got into exception handling, so go ahead and delete those out. So we have our basic blueprint here, and the reason void is here is because we're not returning any values. We'll get to that later. So one thing that we should add as well into our interface is a way of monitoring when things need to be saved. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that with a Boolean, and for those of you who don't know what a Boolean is, it's a true or false value, and I'm going to just call it need to be saved. And I'm just going to, again, we're not assigning it anything, we're not doing equals false or true, but what I do want to do is create a get and set so I can set that value. And remember in the previous video we talked a little bit about creating get and set properties and functionality for that. Now notice after I saved that, this guy fired off again, and it says save system does not implement the iSaveable needs to be saved. So if I select this and I hit Alt Enter, you'll notice it tells me right there I'm missing this public boolean needs to be saved getter and setter. So what I can do is just hit Enter here, and what you'll notice is down at the bottom, and I'm probably going to bring this up. Oh, actually did it in the right spot. Right above my methods, it created this right here, right? So I can actually break this up a little bit, and I'm just going to gut this because I'd like it to be as clean as possible. So just from the get to my semicolon there, and then this guy too, and then I'm going to hit enter there to space that out. So we're keeping it pretty bare bones. We're not throwing any exceptions yet if nothing happens. Alright, so let's go ahead and test this stuff out. So I'm just going to highlight, or you can click 25 and grab the whole line, hit copy. I'm going to click on 36 and paste this, and in my save state I'm going to click on 41 and paste this. And what I'm going to write here is loading, let's just get rid of all of this here like that, and I'm just going to plug in here loading our document, and then copy this out, and then this is just going to be saving our document. Actually, I guess I could just grab, well, I'll just change this to saving our document. There we go, I'll save that. So let's go ahead and also set this up before we run it. So we want to get the value, right? This needs to be saved value. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do our own variable up here under save game. So we'll just say private boolean. Let's make sure that's capital. Underscore needs to be saved equals, and we're going to set this one to false. And what we're going to say is in our public boolean needs to be saved here, we'll change the value as we move it, but we're just going to return. Let's actually get rid of this semicolon now that I've added that. Return this here, and then I'm going to do the same in here. I'm going to actually set the value to whatever value is going to get passed in, and we'll see that in a second. Alright, and actually we do need a couple semicolons at the end here. There we go. So our boolean is set up here in our save system. So we'll be able to call this and switch between true and false depending on whether or not it needs to be saved. And we need a, let's see, and our, that looks pretty good. I think we're okay for now. Alright, so let's go ahead and run this. So let's open up our class program. And remember before we made this save system that is able to access all of this cool stuff that we just added. So in here, what I can do is grab my save system and just hit dot, and what you'll notice is we get our load state and our save state. So let's go ahead and hit load state to see what state we're in. And I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to do the same again. Just paste that and do save. So we're going to save it. And then let's set our save system to equal to, it needs to be saved. Let's see. I forget what we name that. It needs to be saved. Yeah, it needs to be saved here. System. Let's set that equal to be false, equal to false, because at this point we've already loaded our system, we saved it, and now we don't need to resave it again. So let's go ahead and hit F5 and see what happens. So we get, you created a save game with the following name, loading our document, saving our document, and hello from main. So let's kind of trace through this. All we did now is we called this load state from here, and it really did nothing except printed this out. And then we do this save system here, which loaded that one. And then we set save system needs to be saved equal to false. And we can actually output that data too so you can see it, but this boolean here is just returning and setting the value to whatever is being passed in. Alright, so let's go ahead and stop this. And I'm going to end this video now. We're at 9 minutes, and we'll look into expanding this into generics or casting